Good morning. So in this video lesson, we're going to talk about the SciPACs in week 2 of Statistics and Probability. So our objectives for today are: first, identify the mean, variance, and standard deviation of a discrete probability distribution. Second, compute the mean, variance, and standard deviation. And lastly, we solve problems involving discrete probability distribution. So, before we proceed to solving problems, first, we identify the formulas for mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete probability distribution. First one is the formula of the mean. Mean, its symbol is this. This is the symbol for mean, and it is read as mu. So, the formula for mean is mu is equal to the summation of the product of x times, or the product of x and p of x, where x is the value of the random variable and p of x is the probability of x. Next one is the variance. Variance, this is the symbol for variance, and this is read as sigma squared, where the formula for variance is sigma squared is equal to the summation of x squared times p of x minus mu squared, where x is the value of the random variable and p of x is the probability of x, and mu squared here, or the mu, is equal to the mean. So first, you solve for the parenthesis first, which is x squared multiplied by p of x. Then you get the summation of it, and you subtract it by mu squared. That is for the variance. And lastly, standard deviation. Standard deviation is, its symbol is sigma only. Sigma only. And as you notice, the formula for variance and standard deviation is just the same. Their only difference is the square root in standard deviation. So the formula for standard deviation is sigma is equal to the square root of the summation of the product of x squared and p of x minus mu squared. So if you solve it, simply solve first for the variance, and then just get the square root of the answer in variance. That is the standard deviation. So first, let us focus on the mean, or the average of discrete probability distribution. The mean, or its formula, is mu is equal to the summation of the product of x and p of x. So first, let us have example number 1 for the average number of spots. So consider rolling a die. What is the average number of spots that would appear? So, yung die, yun yung dice, plural. Die is the singular. So, the number of spots here, which is represented as x, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bakit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 siya? Diba, kapag nakakita ka ng dice, diba yung sa Snake and Ladders, ginagamit yan doon. Diba, meron doon na naka-number 1, hanggang 6. So, that is the number of spot, or which is our x. So, kaya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yan. And we will look for its probability, which is represented as p of x. So, its probability that 1 will occur is 1 out of 6. 2 will occur is 1 out of 6. 3 will occur sa pag-roll niya ng die is still 1 out of 6, 4, 1 out of 6, 5 is 1 out of 6, and 6 is still 1 out of 6. So, equal result lang sila if magro-roll ka ng die. So, ano yung hinahanap natin dito? The average number of spots that would appear. So, technically, if we're looking for the average number, we are looking for the mean. So, before proceeding to the mean, or the formula for mean and solving for the mean, we first find the product of x and p of x, where x is the number of spots and p of x is its probability. So, just multiply this and this. So, 1 times 6 is, or 1 multiplied by 1 over 6 is 1 over 6. 2 multiplied by 2 over 6 is 2 over 6. So that is multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. The denominator of 2 is 1. So multiply numerator by numerator, that is 2 times 1 is 2 over the denominator of 2 is 1. So 1 times 6 is 6. That is why x multiplied by p of x is 2 over 6. The third one is 3 multiplied by 1 over 6, that is 3 over 6. 4 multiplied by 1 over 6 is 4 over 6. And 5 multiplied by 1 over 6 is 5 over 6. And lastly, 6 multiplied by 1 over 6 is 6 over 6. So we have here the formula for the mean. So that is mu, symbol for mu, is equal to the summation of x multiplied by p of x, or the number of spot multiplied by p of x, the probability, its probability. So, we already got the product of x and p of x. These are the product of x and p of x. So, we're, the last solution, or the last thing we're going to do is to get its summation. Get the summation of all of this, the product of x and p of x. So, just add 1 over 6 plus 2 over 6, yan, 3 over 6 plus 4 over 6 plus 5 over 6 plus 6 over 6. So, this is the summation of the product of the number of spots and its probability. So, adding all of this, we will get 21 over 6. Because this is a similar fraction. If the denominator is similar, just copy the denominator and add all the numerators. So that is 1 plus 2, that is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. And 15 plus 6 is 21. That is why this is 21 over 6. And dividing 21 by 6, we will get 3.5. But we're getting the average. So, let's just round off our answer. So, the summation or the mean is 3.5. And the average number of spots that would appear in rolling a die is 4. Because when you when you round this off to the nearest whole number, 3.5, that is 4. So, our answer here is 4. So, let us go to example number 2, which is the grocery items. So, let's first read the problem. So, the probabilities that a customer will buy 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 items in a grocery store are 3 over 10, 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 2 over 10, and 3 over 10 respectively. So, what is the average number of items that a customer will buy? So, nakita na natin yung keyword na average number. Meaning, we will get the mean or the average. Other word kasi for mean is average. So, therefore, yung gagamitin nating formula is yung mu. So, first, let us construct a table wherein on the left side, we will have the number of items represented as x, and on the second column, we will get the probability of the number of items, which is represented as P of X. And then the last column, we get the product of X and P of X. Para madali na lang nating masolve yung mu natin, kunin na lang natin yung summation nun. So, sabi dito, customer will buy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 items. So, kaya nilagay natin sa number of items is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And sabi din dito, yung probability is 3 over 10, 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 2 over 10, and 3 over 10 respectively. Kapag sinabi nating respectively, meaning magkakasunod yon. Yung 1 item, yung probability niya is 3 over 10. Ayan, 1, tapos yung sa left side niya, sa right side niya is 3 over 10. Then, yung 2, that is 1 over 10. 3, that is 1 over 10. 4, for item, that is 2 over 10, yung probability niya. And lastly, yung customer daw na bibili ng 5 item, yung probability na bibili siya ng 5 items sa grocery is 3 over 10. So, let us first get the product of X, which is the number of items, and its probability. So, multiply lang natin. Kamukha nung kanina. So, 1 times 3 over 10 is 3 over 10. 2 times 1 over 10 is 2 over 10. 3 times 1 over 10 is 3 over 10. 4 times 2 over 10 is 8 over 10. And lastly, 5 times 3 over 10 is 15 over 10. Ngayon, bakit hindi natin sila sinisimplify? Para madali po nating makuha yung summation nila. Because adding similar terms, which is, say, similar term, magkakapareho yung denominator nila, i-add na lang natin yung numerator, then copy the denominator, right? Okay. So, our formula for mean is mu is equal to the summation of the product of the number of items and its probability. So, rewrite lang natin yung nakuha natin sa x multiplied by p of x. That is 3 over 10, yun. Second item is 2 over 10 plus 3 over 10 plus 8 over 10 plus 15 over 10. And in adding similar fraction, just copy the denominator and add the numerator. So 3 plus 2, that is 5, plus 3, that is 8, plus 8, that is 16, plus 15, that is 31. So that is 31 over 10. And when you divide it, 31 divided by 10, that is 3.1. Therefore, our mu or mean is 3.1. Therefore, the average number of items that a customer would buy is 3. We round it down because 1 na siya. In rounding off pala, we round up kapag 5 pataas yung last number niya. Kapag naman 4 pababa, round down siya. In this case, 1. So, that is 4 pababa. We round it down. Kaya yung sagot natin is 3. So, next one is the variance and standard deviation na tayo. Before proceeding to variance and standard deviation of discrete probability distribution, kung may tanong kayo regarding sa mean, just ask or PM nyo ako sa messenger. So, yung mean naman, simple lang, just follow the formula which is mu is equal to the summation of the product of x and p of x. So, proceed na tayo sa variance and standard deviation. Nabanggit ko na sa first slide yung formula for variance and standard deviation. Ulitin na lang natin. For variance, we have the formula sigma squared is equal to the summation of x squared multiplied by p of x minus mu squared, while standard deviation is the square root of the formula of variance. That is the standard deviation. Sigma is equal to the square root of variance, where x is the value of the random variable, p of x is the probability of x, and summation of the summation symbol, yun yung sum naman. Kinukuha lang yung sum. So, yung pinagkaiba naman ng variance and standard deviation sa mean is yung pera sa sinubtract siya sa mu squared is yung x dito or the value of a random variable. Yung sa mean naman is x lang, while here in variance and standard deviation, we square the value of the random variable. So, let us proceed to example number 1 in variance and standard deviation. So, madali lang siya actually. Basta sunod lang kayo sa formula. So, example number 1 is the customers per day tayo. So, the number of customers here is represented as x and its probability is represented as p of x. Ngayon, yung pinagkaiba niya sa mean is yung x natin is given na, mumultiply na lang natin siya sa p of x. Diretso tayo dito sa fourth column. Diretso tayo sa fourth column. Wala nang first and fifth column. So, isang table lang. Yung sa mean natin is 3 columns lang, while sa variance and standard deviation, naging 5 sila because of this x squared. Okay. So, customers per day tayo. The number of customers represented as x are as follows, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Its probability naman is 1 over 14, 3 over 14, 2 over 14, 2 over 14, 3 over 14, and 3 over 14. So, first, let us get x squared. Bakit kukuhanin yung x squared? Kasi nasa formula natin yon, right? Yung formula natin for standard deviation and variance, may x squared siya. Kamukha nito. Nakalitaw yung x squared natin. So, isa-square lang natin yung number of customers, which is x squared siya. So, this is our x. So, 5 squared is equal to 25. 6 squared is equal to 36. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81. And lastly, 10 squared is 100. So, paano nakuha yun? So, basically, x squared means x times x. Therefore, yung 5 natin dito, that is 5 times 5. Kaya naging 25 siya. 6 times 6, kaya naging 36. 7 times 7, kaya naging 49. 8 times 8, kaya naging 64. 9 times 9 is 81. And 10 times 10, that is 100. So, now, we get the product of the number of customers and its probability. So, saan tayo titingin? Dito sa first and second column. So, just multiply it kamukha nung ginawa natin dun sa mean. So, that is 5 times 1 over 14. That is equal to 5 over 14. 6 times 3 over 14, that is 18 over 14. Just multiply the numerator by the numerator and copy the denominator in the probability kasi yung denominator naman ng number of customer is 1. So, 3 times 6 is 18 over 14. So, 7 times 2, that is 14 over 14. 8 times 2 over 14 is 16 over 14. 9 times 3 over 14, that is 27 over 14. And lastly, 10 times 3 over 14, that is 30 over 14. Ngayon, nakuha na natin to. So, anong silbi nito kung hindi natin kukunin yung mean? So, technically, kung hindi naman natin kukunin yung mean, wag na rin natin kunin yung product ng x and p of x. Kung pinapakuha is variance and standard deviation, diretso na tayo dito. Magiging 4 na lang yung column natin nun. But since pinapakuha dito pati yung mean, kunin na rin natin to. So, let's proceed naman dito sa x squared multiplied by p of x. So, titingin naman tayo dito para makuha natin yung product ng x squared and p of x. Tingin tayo dito sa kinuha natin kaninang x squared and sa probability, which is p of x. Kaya, careful tayo sa pagsusolve ng x squared natin kasi kung mali yung pagkakasolve ng x squared natin, mamamali rin tayo dito sa pagsosolve ng standard deviation and variance. So, we multiply this. 1 over 14 multiplied by 25, that is 25 over 14. 3 over 14 multiplied by 36, that is 108 over 14. 2 over 14 multiplied by 49, that is 98 over 14. And 2 over 14 multiplied by 16 over 14, that is 128 over 14. 3 over 14 multiplied by 27 over 14, that is 243 over 14. And lastly, 3 over 14 multiplied by 100, that is 300 over 14. Medyo malalaki na yung sagot natin, kaya pwede na naman tayo mag-calculator dito. Kaso, careful lang tayo sa pagpindot ng mga numbers. Baka mali yung mapindot natin, pero tama yung process. Sayang naman yung points natin. Ngayon, kunin na natin yung, since meron tayong product ng x and p of x, kunin natin yung mean. So, formula for mean is mu is equal to the summation of x plus x and p of x. So, kunin lang natin yung summation or the sum of all of this. So, that is 5 over 14 plus 18 over 14 plus 14 over 14 plus 16 over 14 plus 17 over 14 plus 30 over 14. So, it has a sum of 110 over 14. And kapag ginawa mong decimal yon, that is equivalent to 7.86. Actually, kapag dinivide mo yung 110 by 14, equal siya sa 7.857142857. So, equal siya 7.857. So, i-round off na lang natin siya to the nearest hundredths. Kapag sinabi nating nearest hundredths, 2 decimal point lang. So, paano natin i-round off yon? So, kunin natin yung pangatlong decimal point para yung pangatlong decimal point natin, yun yung basihan natin kung magra-round up tayo or magra-round down tayo. In this case, kung in-insert nyo man sa calculator nyo ang 110 over 14 or 110 divided by 14, yung lilitaw is 7.857. Since 7 siya, round up or round down? Of course, it is round up kasi 5 pataas siya. Kaya yung sagot natin is 7.86. Ngayon, proceed na tayo sa variance. So, yung formula natin for variance, napakita ko na, no? So, ito yung formula natin sa variance. Sigma squared is equal to the summation of x squared times p of x minus mu squared. So, mag-substitute muna siguro tayo. So, meaning ng summation is, di ba meron na tayong x squared multiplied by p of x. This is our x squared multiplied by p of x. We just get the sum, then enclose with open and close bracket or parenthesis. So, that is 25 over 14 plus 108 over 14 plus 98 over 14 plus 128 over 14 plus 243 over 14 plus 300 over 14 minus 110 over 14 squared. So, kaya kinukuha natin pala yung mean is dahil kasama siya sa formula ng variance natin. Yung sa pinakahuli. Sinubtract natin siya sa mu squared. And mu is our mean. Kaya need natin pa rin siyang kunin. So, since ito equivalent lang siya or approximate lang siya, kunin na lang natin yung, para makuha natin yung exact answer, is kunin natin yung fraction form niya, which is 110 over 14. Yun yung isa-squared natin. So, nakalagay na sila. Next one is, we add this. So, since it is similar fraction, just add the numerator. 25 plus 108 plus 98 plus 128 plus 243 plus 300 is 902. Then copy the denominator. That's why it is 902 over 14. Subtracted by or minus 110 over 14 squared. So, kapag in-insert nyo sa calculator nyo yan, in-square nyo. So, kapag i-insert nyo sa calculator, kailangan naka-open and close parenthesis din. Kasi kung hindi yan naka-open and close parenthesis, yung i-read niya is, or yung mas-square dyan is yung denominator lang. So, kailangan precise ka. Lalo na yung mga lumang calculator, lumang cycle natin, medyo maselan yung pag-i-input ng mga values natin. Iba yung nare-read niya. So, kailangan may open and close parenthesis tayo. So, 110 over 14 squared, that is equal to 61.7346938. So, when you subtract this, you will get 2.693877.549. So, it's not the right way to read this number, but to make it simpler na lang, that's why I read it like that. 2.693877.549. Okay. Anyways, 2.693877.549 is approximately equal to what? So, we round it off to the nearest two decimal places. So, 69 siya, and yung kasunod ng 9 natin is 3. So, i-round up ba natin or i-round down? Or stay? What I mean is, drop. So, we will not round it down kasi when we say round down, iso-subtract natin siya. So, pero mostly kasi nung elementary kayo, or kung tinuro sa inyo yan, mostly yung term nila is round down, which is kailangan stay lang siya. Stay sa number na yun. So, magsistay ba yung number na to the nearest second digit or round up natin siya? 3 yung number. So, magsistay lang kasi yung mag-round up is 5 pataas. So, our answer is approximately equal to, or in this case pala, yung ginawa natin, pwedeng yung sagot natin is 2.69 or ni-round off ko to the nearest one digit. Kung i-round off mo sa nearest one digit, so basically 9 yung kasunod niya. So magra-round up ka definitely. So the answer is 2.70. Anyways, kung ganyan lang din naman yung kung konti lang din naman yung difference sa pag-round up or pag-round off natin ng mga numbers, I will still consider it kung konti lang naman yung difference. Total decimal point naman sila. So, pwede rin naman nearest 2 decimal places or nearest 1 decimal place. It's up to you, pero I prefer na nearest 2 decimal place siya. Anyways, let's proceed to the standard deviation, which is the square root of, bakit sinulat na square root of sigma squared dito? Kasi, same lang sila ng formula. So, we just get the square root of, as I say a while ago, the square root of variance. This is the variance, right? This is the symbol for variance, that is sigma squared. So, in getting the standard deviation, just get the square root of the variance. And our variance here, to get this, the exact answer is, that is 2.693877.549. I did not get the square root of 2.70 para makuha pa rin yung exact answer natin. So, that is equivalent to 1 point. So, na-block yung ating screen. So, I'll just insert it in my calculator. So, that's the square root of 2.693877.549. Okay. So, the answer is 1.641. So, stay lang natin siya. So, the answer is 1.64. So, just round it off to the nearest 2 decimal place. So, let's proceed to example number 2, which is where we will talk about the number of coffee cups. So, since we're getting the variance and standard deviation, damay na rin pati yung pagkuha natin ng mean because kasama sa formula yung variance and standard deviation, yung mean. So, kamukha lang nung ginawa natin, given naman na yung number of cups, which is represented as x, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, hanggang 5. And its probability is 0.2, 0.22, 0.25, 0.23, 0.06, and 0.04. So, in this example number 2, yung probability natin is represented as in decimal form. So, wala naman problema doon kung naka-decimal form siya. Pwedeng sumagot din kayo ng decimal form. If you want to change it into fraction, pwede din naman. Kaso, medyo matrabaho nga lang. Do carry lang. Pero, just solve it as it is na lang para hindi kayo mahirapan. So, first, we get limang column yan. That is x squared. X squared yung una. Then, second one is x multiplied by p of x, and lastly, that is x squared multiplied by p of x. Bakit natin kinukuha to? Kasi gagamitin natin sila sa formula para madali na lang yung pag-solve. Okay. So, x squared muna tayo. So, 0 squared, so nasabi ko na paano i-solve to. X squared, that is x times x. So, 0 times 0 is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25. Now, let's proceed to the product on getting the product of x and p of x, which is this and this, the first and second column. So, 0 multiplied by 0.20, that is still 0 because any number multiplied by 0 is still equal to 0. 1 multiplied by 0.22, that is 0.22, and 2 multiplied by 0.25, that is 0.5. You can use a calculator if you like. 3 multiplied by 0.23, that is 0.46. 4 multiplied by 0.06, that is 0.24. 5 multiplied by 0.04, that is 0.2. Now, we get the product of x squared and p of x. We will use the second and the third column in getting x squared multiplied by p of x. So, 0.20 multiplied by 0, that is still 0. 0.22 multiplied by 1, that is 0.22 again. 0.25 multiplied by 4, that is 1. 0.23 multiplied by 9, that is 2.07. 0.06 multiplied by 16, that is 0.96. 0.04 multiplied by 25, that is 1. So, in getting the mu or the mean or the average, whatever you prefer to call it, we get the formula of summation of x multiplied by p of x. So, since nakuha na natin yung x and p of x, let's refer to the third column. Just get the summation or the sum of all of this. So that is 0 plus 22, 0 plus 0.22 plus 0.5 plus 0.69 plus 0.24 plus 0.2. And that gives us a sum of 1.85. So, no need to round up or round down. Just leave it as it is. Kasi 2 decimal places naman siya. So, okay na yan. How about in the variance? So, we have a formula of the summation of the open bracket x squared multiplied by p of x minus mu squared. So, that is variance or sigma squared is equal to the sum of x squared multiplied by p of x. So, yung last column natin, i-add lang lahat natin. That is 0 plus 0.22 plus 1 plus 2.07 plus 0.96 plus 1 minus 1.85 squared. So I just write variance here. The symbol for variance, pwede naman siya. So, sigma squared is equal to, the sum of this is equal to 5.25. Subtracted to the square of 1.85, which is 3.4225. So, when you subtract this, you will get an answer of 1.8275, which is approximately equal to 1.83. So, nearest to decimal places, yung pangatlong decimal is 7. Therefore, we round it up, kaya naging 1.83 siya. So, lastly, we get the standard deviation with the formula of the square root of variance and our variance. So, before yung approximation answer natin, that is 1.8275, yun yung in-square root natin to get the exact answer in standard deviation. So, that is square root of 1.8275, that is equal to 1.3518, and so on. So, which is equivalent or approximately equal to 1.35. So, stay lang tayo kasi 1 lang naman siya. So, we will not round it up anymore. So, our final answer is 1.35, or pwede na rin naman to. So, that is example number 2. So, now that you know how to solve for the mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete probability distribution, may formula naman sila, di ba? And nakasulat din naman sa modules. Sa modules nyo, yung formula nila. So, easy to follow na lang. Basta, sundan nyo na lang yung binigay kong table, kung paano gumawa ng table. Ayun, magiging madali na lang yon. So, may tanong pa ba? Kung may tanong pa, just directly PM me, personal message me, or directly message me on Messenger. You can also message me on Gmail if you like. So, yun na. Alam na. So, yung sasagutan natin sa week 2 is yung quiz number 2. So, quiz number 2 to. And, kung nakita nyo pala yung sinend ko sa group chat, GC nyo is may nilagay ako doon na following points. May points ako na nilagay doon kasi walang nakalagay dito kung ilang point yung kapag nakuha yung mean, variance, and standard deviation, and the table, and so on. Wala nakalagay dyan. So, sinend ko yun sa GC natin. Pakitignan na lang. So, kamukha lang siya. Quiz number 2 is composed of written work and performance tasks. So, mas mabigat-bigat or mataas yung hatak kapag nakuha nyo yung performance task kaysa sa written work, but mas maganda kung makuha mong both, 'di ba? Total, just follow my procedure or the steps in this video lesson, talagang mapaperfect nyo, no? So, ayan, kamukha lang naman ng eto, surgeon operates naman siya. So, nandyan naman na lahat. So, isusulat sa yellow paper yan. So, if may tanong pa kayo dyan sa evaluation part natin sa week 1, just directly message me. Yun lang po. So, that is the end of our video lesson in week 2 of Statistics and Probability. Good day.